Welcome to the Dark Side Diaries. I'm Hudia, and today we are diving into the world of horror once again, discussing Insidious, The Last Key, and to help break down this terrifying film, I'm joined by a special guest and fellow horror enthusiast, Akila. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Super excited to be here and talk about Insidious, one of my favorite horror franchises.
Glad to have you. So Insidious 4, The Last Key was released in 2018 and takes us back into the supernatural realm. But this time we get a deeper look into Alice Rainer's backstory. What were your first impressions when you watched the film?
I was hooked right from the start. This film really dives deep into Alice's character, which is something we haven't seen much in the previous film. We get to see her childhood home, which is full of trauma and terror. That adds so much more emotional depth to her character.
Exactly. Unlike the previous film that focused on different families, this one is more about Alice herself. What did you think about Kayface, the main antagonist in this film?
Honestly, Kayface is terrifying. The way he has daylight fingers and uses them to literally lock people's mouths shut was so creepy. I think he represents more than just a scary figure. He symbolized how fear and trauma can really lock someone down. That scene where he silenced people was so chilling.
Definitely, the scene is one of the most memorable in this film. Do you think Insidious 4 delivers the same level of terror as the previous films, or does it feel different?
It is a bit different in my opinion. The earliest film relied more on jump scare and the unknown horror of the father, while this one leans more into psychological horror. Alice's fears of her past is what really drives the story here. Don't get me wrong, there are still jump scares, but the emotional weight of her backstory is what stands out.
That's a great point. We see Alice not just a fearless medium, but as someone who's struggling with her own trauma. Do you think this was final key to resolving her past?
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the movie was leading her to confront her deep fears and finally make peace with her past. The scene where she faced her father, who has the source of so much of her trauma, was powerful, and the way the film ties back to the first Insidious movies feel like a satisfying conclusion to her arc.
I agree. It definitely wraps up her emotional journey nicely. But from a horror perspective, do you think Insidious 4 still managed to keep you on the edge of your seat?
Oh, for sure, especially whenever Alice enters the father. The realm is still one of the creepiest elements in the franchise. The atmosphere is so dark and unsettling. Every time she goes in, you just know something bad is about to happen, but you're not sure when or what.
The father always give me that feeling of dread. So, for our listeners who haven't seen The Last Key, do you think it's worth watching, especially for horror fans?
Definitely, even though there's more emotional depth and drama around family and trauma, it's still a strong supernatural horror film. And for fans of the Insidious franchise, it is a must-watch because it answers a lot of questions and ties up lost ends from the earliest movies.
Great. So, for those of you who haven't seen Insidious 4 The Last Key, get ready to face your fears alongside Alice. Thank you so much, Akila, for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome talking about one of my favorite horror films.
And that is for today's episode. Don't forget to follow our podcast for more horror movie discussion. And until next time, stay safe and don't get lost in the future.
Bye bye.